I cannot believe it is almost February. Like, that boggles my mind. How is January already basically done? Also, I have this on my hand. It looks better like this than it does not on it, so you'll get to enjoy this lovely accessory. So today I am wanting to go through my February TBR. I really enjoyed doing the TBR jar picks my November read, so I thought I'd use the TBR jar again. However, this time, plot twist, it's TBR Jars. Rengar's also very excited about this. So the two TBR jars that I have this one, which is new to you all, and that is my 24 and 2024. I'm holding myself accountable to actually reading my 24 and 2024 because I didn't do my 23 and 2023 last year. So each month I'm going to pull 2 names out of this jar so that I read 2 a month. 2 times 12 is 24. So I will read all of them. I read 2 of them in January, so I'm already on track for it. So firstly, I'll pull 2 books from this, and then I'll use the TBR jar that I used in November, which just has like random prompts like read the next in a sequel or pick a romance book or whatever. I am kind of hoping for a few romance books since it is February, but I am a mood reader as well, so I doubt I would want to read all romance books. So hopefully from these I'll get 1 or 2 and I can mood read my way through it. The only thing is, I don't know how many I'm picking right now. Depending on the size of the 2 books that get picked from this will depend on how many I pick from here. I'm thinking I'll pick maybe 3 or 4 from here because I do have 2 book clubs that I'm part of that I'll also need to read books for, and given that it's the shortest month of the year, and this year I'm not wanting to get as focused on the number of books I'm reading and more like enjoy books and tackle some of the bigger books on my TBR, I was thinking it might be better to set a lower TBR and then allow myself to have some mood reading as well, just in case. So I'll be picking 5 or 6 books from these 2 jars. And hopefully I will read all of them because November stressed me out when I tried to read like 8. Okay, so the first jar, I am going to open this, pop it down, and I'm going to pick 2 bits of paper from this, so I'll do it one at a time. The books that I have here, here and here, you might not be able to see them, are my 24 and 2024, and you might have noticed I'm in a different filming place, like the background's different, and that's because this shelf, which goes up quite high, is all of the books that are on my TBR. These are all the books that I haven't read. In the other room, that's the books that I have read, and I felt like there wasn't a point in filming there and I'm running through here to grab the book, so I was like, let's show my other bookcase. I am wanting to upgrade this at some point to be like nicer, but yeah. Okay. Ooh, okay. The first one that I pulled is The Blinding Absence of Light. Oh, yeah, Rengar, no way, no way. So this is a book that I don't currently own. I will price it up on Kindle first, and if it's like quite expensive compared to just getting the physical book, I might ask, there was someone who recommended this book to me, I might ask him if I can borrow his book, and if not, the last resort will be to buy it. I will also check the library because one of my goals is to not buy too many books. I'm only allowed to buy 2 books per month, and I'm already going to need to buy a book for one of my book clubs, so I'm really hoping that this won't mess me up with my goal for only buying 2 books per month. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, let's see what this is. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Oh, okay. This is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This was also a recommendation from a friend, and she bought me the book for Christmas, and I should have it here somewhere. Yes, it's right here. Okay, so I will be reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night in February, and this is quite a thick book. I think this Blinding Absence of Light isn't too thick, so I'm not too worried about pulling books. I'm going to initially pull 3 out of this, and depending on the size of book that I end up picking, then I'll do either 3 or 4. Okay, let's go. Oh, first actually, let me just move these books out of the way so I've got more space. Okay, I've moved the other TBR jar now, and I also just have this one to go through. I'm going to pop the books that I am reading here at the moment. and hope that I don't want to access the books there. I don't have much room on this shelf, so I've just put like hardbacks there and then paperbacks up there. But anyway, let's go through it and pick 3 prompts from this jar and see how it goes. I think I am probably setting myself up for failure already because I do have my 2 books determined by book club, and then that means I'll end up having like 7 books to read, but we love a trier. We love a trier. Okay. Ooh, this one is a book with a person's name in the title. Let me quickly have a look through my books and then come up with some options to show you and walk through. Okay, so something I've discovered is a lot of the books in my 24 and 2024 have someone's name on it, and not that much from other books on my shelves. But I feel like picking one for my 24 and 2024 doesn't really make sense because I have that other jar and it kind of messes up with like my routine. But I found these 3 books that I think contain names. Well, I know these 2 do. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, that's the wrong way around, let me quickly fix that. Tess of the, is it D'Urbervilles? These are 2 classic books I've got. And Belladonna. I think Belladonna's a name. I will need to double check that. Like, I'm pretty sure that Belladonna is a name. 1 second. Hey Siri, is Belladonna a name?
I found this on the web.
Belladonna, baby name, okay. Belladonna is a name. So it originates from Italy, that's cool. So I'm going to say that that is also a name, just so that we've got some books to choose from. Okay, so as I said, Belladonna, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, and The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I don't know which of these 3 I want. This is really hard. I didn't anticipate how difficult this would be. Okay. I feel like Belladonna is a little bit of a cheat here, but I really want to read it. Let's see. Okay, I've decided it's not a cheat because the first thing it says in the blurb is, your name is no curse. So it even mentions a name. I'm gonna go for it. Sorry guys, I'm going to neglect you for longer, and I am going to read Belladonna for the prompt, book with a person's name in the title. Yay! I'll pop these to the side and sort out my shelves after I'm done filming this video. Okay, so another 2 from here, depending on how big some of the books are. I'm going to properly dig in here. I feel like I'm cheating if I just can grab one from the top. Rengar's decided to have his little cycle half an hour right now, which is like perfect timing, baby boy. Okay, ooh, it looks like I'm reading a lot of fantasy this month because we've got Belladonna, Serpent and the Wings of Night, and then fantasy book. Okay, it's not romance, I guess, this month. Okay, so I'm sorry if the angle has changed slightly. Rengar decided to knock over my phone, so oh, he's lucky, he's cute. But where we left off was that I chose fantasy book, so I'm going to pick out a few fantasy books that I want to read, and I might try and not cheat it, but I might try and get a romantasy book so that I'm getting romance still since it's February. So let me have a wee look and I'll bring down some options for that. So my shelves are mostly fantasy, as I found looking there, so it took a while to try and pick out 3 books, but I picked out these 3 for specific reasons. Basically, all of them are from series that I'm either reading right now or I've started and not finished, and I kind of want to continue on with that because I've found a lot of the fantasy books I've got are part of a series and I don't want to start a new one. Because Belladonna, I think, is already the start of a new series. So I'm like, I don't want to at the moment. So I read The Assassin's Blade in January, so it might make sense to read Throne of Glass and continue on with that series. I also want to read Crescent City 3 soon, and before doing that, I want to finish reading the ACOTAR series, so I want to read A Court of Silver Flames, which I've not read yet, before I read Crescent City 3. And I also want to read the Throne of Glass series before doing that as well, so either of them work. And then the last one is The Hero of Ages, which is the last book in the original Mistborn trilogy, which I want to finish, but I also don't want to finish. But I'm putting it in here because I feel like I should finish it, but maybe now isn't the time compared to these two, because these two are more important towards reading Crescent City 3. I think, so I'm not going to do The Hero of Ages, but I will be reading this at some point this year because I really, really want to read it. I'm excited to read it, but it's also super thick and will take a lot of time and energy out of me because these books are like quite serious, but I love them so much. So instead I'm going to go for one of these two because they're a bit more like light-hearted fantasy, if you know what I mean. So this one is calling my name for the fact that it is romantasy, and I know it's romantasy, and it means I'm reading some romance in February. It also means I'll be completing the ACOTAR series, which will feel really good. But this one is calling to me because I read The Assassin's Blade and I want to continue the Throne of Glass series. So it makes sense to read Throne of Glass this month. And if I pick other books, I might neglect continuing this series just so I can read the other ones. I am also doing a Throne of Glass reading vlog since it's my first time reading the books. Okay, I think I'm going to pick Throne of Glass for this. So for the prompt of fantasy book, I am going to read Throne of Glass, which I am super excited about actually. Yeah, there's one book missing here because this Blinding Absence of Light should be here, but as I said earlier, I don't own it. Okay, so right now it's not looking too intimidating depending on how big this Blinding Absence of Light is, but if I put A Court of Silver Flames or The Hero of Ages there, I think I'd be feeling a bit intimidated right now because they're both quite big, but Throne of Glass isn't too big. Okay, let's see this prompt. Guys, you cannot rate it. Romance book! Oh, yay! This is like the #1 time I would have wanted to pull this prompt, and like, look how many prompts are in here. Look how many. What are the chances? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to pull down some romance books that I want to read and then decide which one I'll be reading in Love Month. Okay, that was really quick for me picking out 3 romance books. I'm kind of enjoying having between 3 to make a decision from. I picked these 3, I've picked Hook, Line and Sinker because I have read It Happened One Summer. I absolutely loved it and I'm really excited to continue this. However, I did kind of picture myself reading this in summer because it kind of gives like summery vibes, but I am also really excited to read this book. So maybe I do push it forward and read it in February. The next one is A Glasgow Kiss, which is something that's light-hearted and fun. My partner got me it for part of my birthday, and it's been recommended to me by loads of people who are also from Glasgow. I feel like the nostalgia and funniness of it will be really great. I say nostalgia, nostalgia's not the word I'm looking for, but I mean, I'll be reading it and it'll be talking about like streets I've walked down and pubs I've been to and stuff, and I'll really enjoy that aspect of it. And it's meant to just be a good laugh, especially if you are Glaswegian. So I'm like drawn to this one as well. And the other one is The Soulmate Equation, and that's because I've never read anything by Christina Lauren, but I know that she is well loved in the romance scene, so I'm wanting to read one of her books, try her out and see how I feel, because I feel like romance for me can be very hit or miss, and I'm not really sure how I'll feel about any of these books really. I feel like this is the one I'm not as sure I'll love. I think I'll probably like Hook, Line and Sinker because I like Tessa Bailey, and A Glasgow Kiss because it's set in Glasgow, but I do want to try Christina Lauren. So these are the 3 books that it's between. There is a good chance that if I have a chance to mood read at any point, that I would pick up one of these anyway. So I might read more than just whatever one I pick in February. But I think I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for A Glasgow Kiss. I'm going to read this because I feel like it's going to be super light-hearted and funny and easy to read, and exactly what I'll be looking for after reading quite a few like fantasy books. I want something a bit fun, silly, short. So I'm gonna put this one on. I also do picture myself reading Hook, Line and Sinker, as I said, in summer, and the Soulmate Equation. I might try pick that up in February if I've got some time. Okay, so I'm picturing this right now, but also with this Blinding Absence of Light and the 2 books that I'll be reading for parts of book club. And I'm wondering, did I pick another one? Guys, did I pick another one? Let's do it. I find this far too fun. I find doing the TBR jar far too fun. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can just keep going and set myself like 20 books to read this month, which is realistic for some people, but unfortunately not for me. But I'm like getting all in and about it and shaking it out because I mean, it's going to be random anyway, but still. Okay, got one. Oh yeah, so as I said, romance book for a Glasgow kiss. Pop that down there. Making a mess here, aren't I? Okay. Damn it. Guys, I gone messed up. A book with more than 500 pages. Oh, now I'm intimidated because that means I need to pick a big book. And now I'm going to need to add a big book to my February TBR as well. Idiot. Oh. Serves me right. It serves me right for deciding to pick another book. I honestly deserve it. And I'm kind of sad I can't pick one for my 24 and 2024 because I have quite a few big books in there that I want to get around to. But let me go and see what books I've got that are more than 500 pages and I'll bring 3 of them down. Hold up a minute. I literally have a spreadsheet that contains my books and number of pages that they have. Let me quickly put that up instead of looking for all of these books. I can literally just check it from the spreadsheet. This is when I love being a nerdy data girl. I'll be back in 2 minutes. So let me just kind of cheat real quick and I'll pick up these 2 again as being over 500 pages, and then we'll also take down Iron Flame because that was also one that was more than 500 pages. This is really a fantasy month. I swear, I have so many fantasy books. Right. So, out of these 3, which do I read? I've already gave my reasons for each of these. This one I've already read Fourth Wing. Thought it was alright, but I have heard that this book isn't that great. So I just kind of picked this one up, so that would have 3. I'm not going to read this book right now. I think I'm going to need to wait until I'm in the mood for it. If I'm in the mood for it at any point, I will read it at some point because I feel like I need to read it after reading Fourth Wing. But even people who hyped Fourth Wing have said this isn't that great. So I'm kind of like, what's the point in me doing that? Because then I might not really be that into it and then be forced myself to read and then struggle to read the other books. So I'm going to make it between these 2, which is funny because I was going to consider one of these for the fantasy book. Okay, so do I finish Mistborn or do I finish Akatar? This is a real question. This has romantasy. This one's fantasy with a teeny tiny smidge of romance. I don't know which to choose. I think they're very similar in their number of pages. So A Court of Silver Flames has 757 pages. And then Hero of Ages has 748. Sorry if I've just given you spoilers from those pages by showing the numbers, my bad. I didn't even think about that. This is the hardest decision yet, to be honest, trying to decide between these 2. I could be here a while. Okay lads, let's rip off the band-aid. I have said that these are 2 books that I have been actually avoiding reading for specific reasons. So I don't like Nesta and I don't want to finish Mistborn because I'm too attached to Vin. But I'm going to finish Mistborn, guys. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to read Mistborn. I'm going to read Hero of Ages this month. And now consider me intimidated for February. I highly doubt I'm going to read all of these books. I will be so impressed with myself if I manage to read all of these books. So To quickly recap, we have This Blinding Absence of Light, which I don't own yet. We have 2 books from my book club. One of them is The Master and Margarita, and the other one is one that has not been determined. I don't own any of those books at the moment. Obviously the one to be determined, I don't own. Who'd have thought? But the books that I've chosen out that I do own, so from my 24 and 2024, we have The Serpent and the Wings of Night. We then had a prompt, which was a book with a person's name in the title, which was Belladonna. We then had fantasy book, which is Throne of Glass. Romance book, which I was super hyped about, which is A Glasgow Kiss. And then, just to mess things up, a book that is 500 pages or longer, which I've chosen as The Hero of Ages. February's going to be a month, I'll tell you that, and I definitely won't be picking up either of those romance books to try and read because I won't have the time. Time to neglect all my hobbies and read. That doesn't sound so bad to me. Have a great month of reading, guys. Bye!